Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Saturday, August 7th. Look at our impact map. We have a massive amount of smoke plowing into the central and southern portion of the Great Basin, thanks to a lot of the fires in northern California and into southern Idaho for today. Tomorrow, a change in the weather, a strong cold front coming through. There will be some light precipitation in the far northern areas. There will be some strong winds of 30, 40 miles per hour across much of southern Idaho, western Wyoming, and maybe far northern Utah. It will be coming with fairly high humidities, though, in the upper teens to mid 20s, so will not be a risk for most areas, except for some of the driest valley locations, and then the wind exits on Monday, but the smoke continues to linger. And speaking of smoke, our morning surface smoke on the left-hand side, and then with the afternoon winds and mixing on the right, we do see some improvement over Idaho, finally. A lot of the smoke getting pushed further south, and a similar look on the 6,000 foot smoke level. Starting to clear out a little bit across northern Utah, northern Nevada, much of Idaho. That smoke dragging southwards with the cold front down into the southern parts of Utah and Nevada. At the past 24 hours on the right, quite a bit of lightning again on the right-hand side. It did come with low end to medium end moisture, maybe a tenth of an inch to a quarter inch, and some locally heavier pockets where you see the little yellow shades through here. And even areas that didn't get much rain, the fuel's still fairly moist from the rain of several days ago. But we are getting new starts. A lot of these that you see here in the Payette and northern Boise National Forest are a tenth of an acre, quarter acre for the most part. A lot of the holdovers coming back to life, and even further south, we did have one large fire down in the western part of the Snake River Plain, and we're going to see more of that as we go through the next couple of days, especially as drying starts to ensue. But a lot of areas still reeling from the significant amount of rain over the past 2 weeks. You can see here these green areas to dark green, a half inch to an inch of rain. The yellow pockets, a half inch to 2 inches of rain. It's just the far western areas that have escaped a lot of that rainfall. You can see the ERC stations mimic that with a lot of yellows and greens, 50th to 60% type range for most areas, but it is that far western and northwestern portion of Nevada where ERCs are kind of near normal, 70th to 80th to even some near 90th percentiles for now. Satellite imagery shows a deep low pressure area in southern Canada, another one off the British Columbia coast. That's one's going to track down and bring the wind and some light precip to our northern areas tomorrow. Otherwise, this west-northwest transport flow that mimics these height lines is bringing a lot of that smoke from northern California into the central and southern portions of the Great Basin. So looking for later today, dry air mass coming in. There's that next low that's going to come in with moisture. You can see our 7-day fire potential. It's only our far western and northwestern areas that are critically dry. You can see the humidities there, single digits to near 10% across much of Nevada. Gets a bit more moist as you go further north and east. Winds on the left fairly light. Now, for tomorrow, that low pressure area brushes across northern Idaho, bringing some good precip to parts of western northern Montana. It'll brush our far northern areas, the northern areas of the Payette, the northern areas of the Salmon Chalice, maybe part of the Boise National Forest and northern Sawtooth. We only have high risk for the valley locations for now with the winds. It depends on where your fuels are. If you look through here, the humidity on the right-hand side, in the valleys, it'll be in the mid to upper teens, but anytime you get into the higher elevations, it's in the 30s or 20s, basically not critical, much drier further south, but the winds there are not as strong. You can see on the left-hand side those purple shade of winds across the central and eastern part of the Snake River Plain. Those purple areas, gust of 40 to 45 miles per hour, same into western Wyoming, although there, again, it could stir up some holdovers, but overall fuels, ERC's 100 hours are quite moist still. And in addition, there will be some precipitation here on the right-hand side. This green shade through here, maybe a tenth to a quarter of an inch of rain into eastern Idaho, western Wyoming, and also maybe a couple of hundredths to a tenth of an inch in the northern reaches of some of our forests in the central mountains of Idaho, tempering things a bit. But after that, Monday, drier air starts to push on in. You can see a lot of the greens turn to yellow. Our humidity start to dry out on the right-hand side. Winds start to diminish. 3-day precipitation totals, again, in the northern part of our central Idaho mountains, a couple hundredths to maybe a tenth of an inch of additional, but that'll bring higher humidity and temper those winds for tomorrow afternoon. The monsoonal moisture deep to the south, otherwise all areas dry. And very quickly, Pacific high pressure. This is the one that typically brings good drying to a lot of our northern areas. This is going to start pushing on in, so should see significant drying. See a lot of the areas turning brown in western Idaho, at least the lower elevations initially, and then that'll start spreading a bit further eastwards as we go into Wednesday. We are watching some of that monsoonal moisture to the south, should start to creep up, may moisten up the Arizona Strip and some of our southern areas, but our northern areas should get quite dry as we go into Friday, and then we'll have to watch how far north this monsoonal moisture pushes up into Idaho and possibly points northward, but still a long ways away. And by then, things will dry out with all the lightning we've had, a lot more holdovers, and possible increase in fire activity. 7-day precipitation totals, and the 8 to 14 day, a big, warmer and drier than normal signal across our northern and central areas, but a more moist signal for the Arizona Strip, maybe parts of far southern Nevada and maybe far southern Utah as the monsoonal moisture starts pushing northwards. And this concludes our briefing. Have a great day.